A Buncombe County attorney and notary face charges in a fraud case under investigation by the Secretary of State's office. 6 counts of notary fraud have been filed against attorney Eli Adamorola. 32 counts of forgery were filed against notary Lisa Roberts-Allen. The charges relate to falsifying information on deeds and related paperwork for Buncombe County homes. Both had first appearances scheduled in district court this morning.
Davis's North Philly rental property was in between tenants.
I wanted to get it back up and running to rent it out.
But she never got the chance. Someone stole it first.
Someone had actually signed the deed, forged my name, and basically they were the new owners of the property.
And the person didn't just steal it, they sold it. The deed shows the property sold to Timeless Investment LLC for $6,500. Timeless's owner told Davis the company was duped by the same fraudster into buying the property. The document was notarized using a licensed notary's name.
The notary stamp was forged. Her signature was also forged.
The owner of Timeless Investment filed the deed with the city. The Philadelphia Records Department thought it was real.
Right now, do you verify that signatures are legitimate?
No, and that's really not something we would be capable of doing.
Philadelphia's Records Commissioner Jim Leonard said his office sorts and files an average of 150,000 documents a year. He said that's too many to check.
Even if they could see the real notary signature and the purported notary signature, they don't have the abilities to essentially be a handwriting expert to tell whether a signature is actually true or not.
According to the mayor's office, at least 111 Philadelphians have reported deed fraud so far.
Hi, this is Mike, and let me give you another story. There's so many notaries getting in trouble. It seems to be a reflection of the times, but anyway, criminal notaries do get caught eventually, and a lot of people get damaged along the way. And they steal notaries' identity, in case you've seen a pattern here. So here's another one, but this one, the notary used her own stamp, like, must be mentally, retarded kind of a person to do that. But anyway, the notary is accused of fraudulently notarizing a document involving a dead person's bank account. So she notarized somebody who was dead. So a Wildwood notary has been arrested after she allegedly fraudulently notarized a document involving a dead person's bank account. Lorianne Catron, 51, who lives in Sandalwood Condominiums, was arrested Tuesday night on a felony charge of false certification by a notary following an interview at the Sumter County Sheriff's Office Public Safety Building at Pinellas Plaza in the Villages. The Michigan native accused of notarizing a document on August 12th, not in the presence of the person whose signature Catron was notarizing. Yeah, the person was dead, according to an arrest report from the Sheriff's Office. Catron had never met the person whose signature she was notarizing. Warm body required in New York for traditional notary. Catron signed the document and stamped it with her notary stamp and seal. The document was then used to withdraw funds from a deceased family member's bank account, since the document indicated that the victim was relinquishing control over her portion of the bank account to one of her sisters, the arrest report said. So I'm not going to get further into that story, but basically there's a lot of fraud going on with notaries, and you need to protect yourself, because quite often they do take a notary's ID and make up a stamp and make believe they're you. So how can we protect ourselves from notary identity theft? Well, number one, we can use the seal on everything you notarize. So you use a stamp, but if you also always use a seal, you might recall that we're allowed to use a seal on everything. We're not required to use a seal on everything, but I highly recommend you always use one and log it in your journal. And doing that extra step differentiates your actions if you're doing it like as a habit. Either do it or don't do it, but do it all the time. That's the point. That would stand up better for you if somebody stole your ID and was committing fraud with your name. So I highly recommend you log every notary act you complete in your logbook or journal. Well, not only because it'll help you prove that you didn't do something when somebody stole your ID and made up a stamp, but now you are required to own a journal and a logbook and log everything, since 2023. In March, that law came out. So this is evidence on your behalf. We nickname the notary professional records or logbook journal that we offer on our site the cover you-know-what book. It covers you-know-what in case somebody messes around with your identity. So we are required to use journals as of 2023. Make sure you are using one to avoid being in violation of the statutes, which would be professional misconduct if you were found notarizing things without one. How do you get caught not using a journal? Well, something happens where people you notarize got in an argument and they might call you in as a witness, and then you don't have the proper evidence, which is your journal. Or, God forbid, somebody steals your identity and notarizes things, and then they call you in for fraud. And you should have a journal that proves you journalize everything and you record everything. And the fraudulent one wasn't in there, so that would help you as well. So what can happen to you if you get caught without using a journal? You could be charged with professional misconduct, and that can result in a misdemeanor, which could be probation. It could be suspension or loss of your notary license, and civil damages. Who could sue you for civil damages? Well, if you were called into court to bring your evidence because two parties you were a notary for were arguing and you don't have the evidence, the one that loses can sue you for not having the evidence. So by all means, make sure you get that. You can always get one if you don't have one yet at howtobecomeanotaryinny.com, and you can go to the notary supplies page. That's where, if you're just seeing this video on YouTube, you can join the New York Notary Association and get these kinds of videos before everybody else sees them. And of course, if you're just studying to take the notary exam, we have notary licensing and training and an award-winning exam prep. So that's it for this month. This is Mike. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
www.notaryeverything.com. Every office needs a notary public. Doesn't yours? Award-winning, online, self-paced NY State Notary Licensing Exam Prep. This is an amazing resume turbo booster. Increase respect from your employer or job interviewer. Get respect from coworkers, family, and friends. More and more employers want this on your resume. A notary license gets your resume on top of the interview list. Many people do this as an extra income gig. See the testimonials and social proof. Become the winner in your office by becoming a notary public today. Get free membership in the NYS Notary Association. www.howtobecomeanotaryinny.com. Call 347-427-9091 for more info.